Good morning, guys. We've got a really good episode for you this morning. Interviewing not your average interior designer. Kelly Daly's very kindly joined us from Daily Cook Design. Stay tuned. We're going to tell you styling that lasts. Kelly, good morning. Thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure, Billy. How are you?
Really well. We're excited to bring this on air. For the first time ever, I've heard of a stylist that's not just selling a big styling package and then see you later in 6 weeks, you've sold and never hear from you again.
That's right. We style for keeps. So we're looking after the people once they move into their homes.
I love that. I love that. And so off air, you were giving me a little bit of background history on how this came to be, but I'd love to bring that back on.
Sure. Well, I have worked in styling to sell. I'll go way back. I have a naturopathic background, so I have enjoyed looking after clients within private practice, but also in corporate. I think I understand the wellness of the home, the wellness of people. So to go from doing naturopathic, I'm now looking at the wellness from the inside of their bodies, now looking at and how they are in life to how people actually live in homes. So that's one thing that inspired me to do styling for keeps, because it does help people live in their homes longer and just are healthier within their homes, with basically could be down to how their lounge is within their living room, believe it or not. So that's my
people wanted help around changing these things for a while, but not, don't know where to go, don't know what furniture to buy. Sometimes, you probably know what they want better than they do, in a way.
That's right. Exactly. Some people don't actually know their style, and that's where we can help. Just one consultation, for an hour and a half can just help bring light to what really can help them in their home and what they can get rid of or bring in.
Yeah. And when I say interviewing not your average interior designer, the stylists that we get to work with, and don't get me wrong, do an amazing job, but they often are there to help owners through the hands of just the preparation stage of putting furniture in the home for sale, leaving that there for a 6 to 8 week period, and then taking it away and sort of removing all that stress of needing to manage furniture. But there's nothing long lasting about that. So you're obviously helping families that are living in homes. No one's generally living in the homes that the rented furniture is there for.
That's right. The furniture, exactly. The furniture has a purpose to make the space look bigger. Yes, cohesive, but might not be practical to live in. And that's where we come into it. I have experience in styling to sell, and I am aware that there is, some beautiful furniture that goes into these places, particularly on the coast where we live, and it's perfect for the eye for the buyer, but the couch might not be really comfortable, and you might have, that's it, exactly. So that to me is great for something that looks at, but it's not practical if you want to sit on that couch every night for 3 hours.
So who's your typical customer? Like, at what point do they call you? And you mentioned before it might be someone relocating from overseas or a family, but what does your average sort of customer look like?
Well, it can. Yeah. So we do. We look after internationals coming from overseas who actually don't know where to source furniture from. I was only speaking to Mark the other day, where we source furniture from many stores. It's not just a cookie cut look of various brands. So internationals who are coming over might be bringing furniture with them. They might end up moving it into their homes, but it might not work within that space because it worked in their previous home. So that's one. And then also two, people, the big thing for us is obviously there could be people downsizing, empty nesters going from a big home to smaller. Again, we can help them before the sale to figure out what might actually be able to go into their home. Then there's also, internationals returning who have, again, don't have their finger on the pulse with home. But then also too, I was just dealing with a gentleman who's just renting in his home, and he's just moved in. He's got all this furniture. He had this is only last week, he had his lounge up against a window and the dining room table on the other side. We just flipped it over, and all of a sudden there's more natural light coming in. So yeah, we deal with, and I've got 3 children, so I know what it's like to deal with the chaos in the home and trying to organize that. That's another thing as well, is in the throes of raising kids, you can be absolutely lost in having order, and I've got great experience in that. So yeah, we deal with everybody. We deal with everybody.
Practical elements of things as well, which I always sometimes find the styling side of things is lacking. It's like, it looks beautiful, but to live in it in an everyday scenario would be different.
For sure. And I'm incredibly practical when I approach things. And I'm practical in the sense of everybody that I help doesn't have to get rid of all the furniture that they have. Like if it's something that we have one end of the scale that, people don't mind of what they spend, but then there's the other end of the scale of actually where they do. And also too, they might want to hold on to things. So we figure out a way of working together where, as I said, this client that I had last week, he's renting his home, and he just wanted to basically create more of an open space in his home. And I've recommended that he just put a throw over his lounge because he's got dogs. He might be buying in 6 months' time. So that's and any people that I also help can end up being clients of you, or like it ends up being in a cyclic thing where we do help loads of people.
I love it. And Mark's put a good comment in here. It's a great investment in yourself. Your home, makes you feel happier if you get it right. It's so true. That environment that you surround yourself, good vibes, I say.
That's right. And see, that's what I was saying. Even just natural light coming into your home. Like, as I mentioned before, the client that I had last week, we just moved his lounge away from where he had windows at the below. And all of a sudden there's more natural light coming in. He was like, I can't believe you just did that. And I was like, that just helps. Natural light in a home is very important because it helps with the cyclic of sleep and so forth. Something too dark, as I mentioned before, the airflow. I was saying I can talk about airflow. Well, then that reduces mold. Like there's so many different things that we can marry up. And from my naturopathic experience, I can bring all that into the home.
Now, I've got a question now. If you're on a budget and you're giving your clients some of the best pieces of advice to look at, what would they be? Things like a throw or curtains or something like that. What would be the low-hanging fruit they can look at?
That's right. So as I said, the client that I had last week had 2 Rhodesian Ridgebacks who just ruled the house.
Yeah.
So he had a lounge that was only 3 years old from IKEA. It was gorgeous, but he just had all these different blankets that were different colors. And I said, well, let's just get a massive throw that can just go over it. You can wash it daily. Now that just lightened the room. A rug with dark floorboards that's light can lighten the room. Things we don't like being, unless you're in a nightclub, a dark and dingy area, do we? We like the lightness. It adds to our mood. So having dark, heavy lounges have to be in a very huge room to allow it to be perfect in that space. So things like, rugs help lighten the room. Lighting helps lighten the room. Again, the spatialness of having things that are too clunky, like a lounge within a small space can be overwhelming. All of a sudden the room feels closed in. It's very simple for us, but for others who are just don't know how to change it, that's where we come in. Like it's, just simple things like that can really just change people's lives. So greenery in a room, that's super cheap, whether it's you can't look after it. That can be it can be something that a couple of real peace lilies, which are beautiful. You don't have to look after it too much, but then some, faux plants, again, just bringing the outside in helps, and that's quite cheap as well. So there's as I said, lighting can be helpful as well. Some lamps, without having to spend big money on the the lounges and the dining room tables and things like that.
Yeah.
Does that answer?
And do you have any favorite stores to send people to, or do you help do that yourself? You go out on their behalf?
Well, I go out on their behalf, but also we have a package of Stylist for the day for people who just want help within their homes, and then we give them some tips as to where they can go to buy that furniture. No, I don't. It also depends on their budget, Billy. So you can have something like the beautiful furniture of Coco Republic, like this, Jardin has lounges which are 15 grand. That's not perfect for people that don't have the money. So everything from IKEA, as we mentioned, DCM House is one of my favorites. King Living, there's wonderful. I mean, we are now, particularly in Bargala, we have on the Northern Beaches have amazing furniture stores. Like there's just so many. And then we've got little boutiques where I purchase. Our Fresco Emporium down in Brookvale is amazing, and they do lots of coastal. And then there's our Fresco Emporium at Collaroy. So no, we source from everywhere. So and then if you have a package that is just a couple of rooms or a full house, we source that and allow it to be arriving on the same time for us to fit it into your home.
Right. Yeah, there's a bit of coordination.
Yeah. So there's logistical stuff that we do in the background.
So what are the lead times if people want to find you, get you in? Christmas, it might be coming around quick now, but certainly people looking at zhuzhing places up for the new year. What do they need to do to find you?
You can find me online, Daily Cook Designs. Make sure it's the DALEY, not DAILY, DALEY.com.au. So www.dailycookdesigns.com.au, and then dailycook_designs on Instagram. There's my packages there. You can send me an email, everything from just a general consultation and see if we can help you out in an hour and a half. And then if we hit it off, you might want me to do more. There's, I've got 3 other packages from just helping you out to a full house.
Yeah, stunning. So, there you go. I reckon this is going to be hugely popular for people that just want to get a fresh set of energy into their home for the new year. What a great time to do it.
Absolutely. And then if they've done a clean out at the end of the year of any of the furniture, or everyone seems to do either a spring clean or a Christmas holiday clean, they might just see that they want to change within their home, and that's where we can help.
Thank you so much for coming on. What a great episode.
Thanks, Billy. Thanks for having me. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Novak.
My pleasure. Great to host stuff like this. So there you go, guys. Styling for keeps. That's the saying. Not just not just a rental period, and stuff you can use, which is awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. And as I always say, if you've fallen in love with the styling that's been done for your sale, then that's where we can help, but make it a little bit more comfortable for a nicer lounge to sit on, or a few pieces that work with reducing clutter in your home and so forth.
Yeah, go out, get some inspiration, see what you like, and then bring that back in.
That's right. And we do mood boards and things like that to find people's style. Again, we don't overcomplicate it. Some people don't want all that. We just work with how people lead us. We lead them in one way, and they can lead us in another. Yeah,
awesome. Thank you again. Have a great morning, guys. Kelly, have a fantastic day.
See you too. Bye.